What's happening, bro?
Yes, my brother, man.
You good, bro? Long time, man.
It's been a minute, but it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, it's good to
Or well,
see. It's good to see you healthy and well, man. I'm here with Tumba. This guy is a great guy, man. He's a football player, so much talent as well, and he's from my country as well. So big up to him,
man,
my
Bana
brother.
Congo.
Bana Congo. I can't wait to see you in the national team, man.
Nah, man, that's a dream. That's a big dream, man. Like, you know what? The maddest thing is, like, when I look at the national team now and compared to what it was years ago, obviously when I was a kid, I don't know any kid that didn't dream to play for England, innit? It's not that I don't dream to play for England, but now when I look at the national team setup, there's so many younger European Congolese players that actually going to play for Congo, and you see that ambiance, you see the way the people love them and that when they go back home, and it's amazing. Like, I've always kind of felt like, why can't we be like the Nigerias, the Ghanas, where the young players go back to their country and they love playing for the country? Like, it's for them, it's an honor. Whereas I think in periods, and there's so many great Congolese players that never ended up playing for Congo. Obviously, that's their own decision, innit? But I just think, like, for me, if I ever got the opportunity to play for Congo, God willing, then I wouldn't even think twice about it, because I think it would be the most beautiful and amazing experience. So, yeah.
Well, Leopard, you heard it here. He said it would be a great experience.
Yeah.
So my brothers that, the ones that I know a few of the players that play in the international squad as well. This is your brother in Tumba. You're hearing it. He's saying it would be a great opportunity. So watch out, and let's make it happen, man. But now, bro, so tell us a bit about your journey, bro.
Yeah, my journey. So obviously I was born in Tottenham Middlesex Hospital. I actually used to live literally facing that, as in across the road from White Hart Lane. So that's where my parents, like, we used to live when we was in London. Literally, if I was to walk across the road, it's White Hart Lane. So yeah, it was mad. I moved to Manchester because my parents started a church in Manchester at the age of like 4 years old. So, like, quite a lot of us from London, from that church branch, moved to Manchester to start the Manchester branch, obviously with my parents. So that was the start of me in Manchester. And then I started playing football from the age of, my earliest memories, 4 or 5. And there used to be this Saturday club at the famous Man United training ground called The Cliff. So we used to go there, and I used to be there pretty much every Saturday and every Tuesday, because my uncle used to drag me along because he used to play as well. And obviously, because he's seen my talent and he knew what I'm capable of, he always used to drag me. And then there was one day where they just said to me, do you want to join the pre-Man United Academy? And I, obviously, as a boy back then, of course, like, I'm not going to say no to that. It's Man United, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I joined up the pre-academy, and I was in the pre-academy from 5 till 9. That's when I signed my actual contract at Man United as a Man United player. Yeah.
That's young. So what players was you with at Man United at that age?
So my age group, players that you will know that are playing in the Premier League right now, Scott McTominay.
Okay.
Marcus Rashford was the year below me. Axel Tuanzebe was the year below me, but we was all kind of the same group, sort of thing. Jack Harrison at Leeds United. Ryan Kent is at Rangers now, but he was in the pre-academy at the time, but he ended up signing for Liverpool when we all turned the age of 9. Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, if you remember him.
I don't remember him,
Left back. He was playing in the era of Van Gaal.
Okay.
The time when Marcus and all that. When Van Gaal was playing the young players, basically, yeah.
Okay.
And then the older players, when I was in the academy, Jesse Lingard was in the academy. Ravel Morrison, Tyler Blackett, Sam Johnson, James Wilson. There was many. I can name many players in it. I don't want to like drag it, but
yeah. So that must have been like pressure, innit? Obviously, like being 9 and obviously, because as well as like all of you guys probably like being friends and just playing, I know it's like a bit of a competition and at the same time because everyone's trying to fight for their place. Like, what's it like?
Do you know what? Yeah, when I was that age, we was always taught at Man United. First is respect. Every time you walk through the doors at the training ground, everyone demanded the same amount of respect, whether it was from Ferguson at the time as the manager to the tea lady. You know what I mean? You had to respect everyone in the same way. And we was always taught to play free. So back then I wasn't really thinking about pressures. I was just playing my game. I was just doing what I knew that I was good at and what I loved. So, and I was playing with my friends. So there wasn't any pressure to me at that time.
Okay, that's nice. So how old was you at Manchester United until?
I was at Man United, so from 5 years old to 12 years old.
To 12, okay. So what happened at 12?
I got released at 12, but I had quite a lot of behavioural issues when I was round about that age, obviously new to year 7. Like, I was kind of that kid in school where, like, in the class, like, I'd be the one, like, the main attraction in the class. So if there's a problem, it could be someone else, but they'll pin it on me straight away sort of thing.
Nah,
so, yeah.
We've kind of been there, bro. Yeah.
There was a time when like Man United had to come into my high school, that the head of education officer, Dave Bushell, he had to come in school, and it was embarrassing, to be honest, like not just for me, like it was more obviously for my parents, in it, because I was just like, I'm embarrassing my parents like at this point, and for the school to obviously bring the club in, obviously it was quite a bad time, in it. So I got released at the end of that season, and that's the first time in my life that I can openly say that I experienced heartbreak, because, boy, I did not leave my room for a whole week, and I was ill on top of that. And I wasn't ill because of like a natural illness. I was ill because I left the club that I love. Like, I left all my friends behind. Like, I remember, I'll never forget, at Carrington training ground, I was even late to my last session, and I was running to get to the pitch, but like on the way to, I was crying on the way to the pitch. Like, so obviously before I touched the pitch, man, I had to wipe the tears. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was emotional, and because Man United was such a family club, that was basically all I known. Beside my family at home, that was my family. Do you know what I mean? So to leave there was tough, but that goes on to the next part. After there, I ended up actually going to Man City. So it was
the rival club.
But you know what? At the time I went there, it was just before the City became what they are now. So I played a game for United against City. It was one of my last United. Yeah, it was one of my last games for United. And the City scout was there, and he knew that obviously United were releasing me, so he come up to me during the game, and he was like, "Oh, how would you like to come to City?" Obviously, he's told my dad and that, and I'm like, at that point, I'm like, "Yo, this is weird," because Mum been at United all my life, but like City are coming, like, and it was, for me, it was so weird going there. I must admit, like, because I'm a United fan, do you know what I mean? So going there was just like, wow. And when I went there, it had to be like, it was kind of under wraps and that, because City didn't want United knowing about it and all that stuff like that. So, yeah, I ended up eventually signing for City. And I played with at City, I played with, it was quite easy because I knew a lot. I grew up with a lot of the City boys as well, in like your local teams and your county teams.
Yeah.
So we knew each other well. So I played with at City Kean Bryan. He's left back at Sheffield United now.
Oh, nice.
Brandon Barker, Rangers. Tosin Adrabayo.
Yeah.
No, yeah, centre half at Fulham. Like me and Tosin were very, very close. Like we used to have a good laugh, me and him. Who else at City at the time? They're the only ones that I could really pinpoint you.
Okay. So, so like obviously from that transition of leaving Manchester United to joining City, obviously being upset that you're getting released, like at that point, like we've this like how can I explain it? There's a lot of young people at that point would probably fall off.
Yeah.
Playing like you can actually fall out of love of the game. Like being released is something that is like where did you get your strength from? Like who supported you at the time?
Do you know what? Yeah. I have a really, obviously, as you can imagine, all Congolese families like were very religious, and plus my parents are pastors. So obviously I had the support of my friends, my parents, like obviously people that obviously still believed in me. But at that very moment when I got released, like it was so heartbreaking, because that's like I felt like I lost a part of me when I left there, innit? So, like, as in, I didn't go to school for a week, I didn't eat. Like, man, I was really destroyed, innit? Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, I was hurt. So, to get back on my feet, the thing that kind of made me get back on my feet was obviously the fact that City showed interest straight away. So, that made me feel wanted again. So, I think it just picked up from there, really.
Okay, so how old did you play at City until?
The funniest thing is, I was only at City for a season.
Okay.
So, like, I enjoyed it and I adapted well at City, but there was this one coach, and I don't like blaming people in it, but I just feel like this one coach, I'm not going to name his name.
Yeah, but, we don't want to cause no. Yeah.
But this one coach, he was the head of the academy at the time as well. He had this, I felt like he always had this thing against me because I was coming from United.
Okay.
So, like, I always remember whenever, like, something would happen, I wouldn't even be a part of what would happen, but he'd blame me and target me for things that had nothing to do with me, do you know what I mean? And there were players that were doing things that were much worse, but it would target me because I'm an easy target, and a lot of them boys, he's grew up with them boys. So, yeah, like, they made one mad excuse. I can't even remember what it was, the reason why they said they released me, but it made no sense, basically. To the point like where the players were confused, some of the coaching staff were confused, but because it come from the top, like they can't do anything, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after I left City, I had like a month or two where I had no club, but I was playing for my school team back then, so I was the captain of the school team. And we played a school, I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, long story short, we played a school, and their PE teacher happened to be a scout for Burnley.
Okay.
So he asked me, like, do you want to go to Burnley? And at that point, I was thinking, bro, man's just come from Man United and Man City, and you're asking me to go play for Burnley, a club that I've never, like, before he asked me, I kind of knew about them, but I didn't know about them, sort of thing. So I'm just like, do I really want to go there? Do I really want to go there, sort of thing? And then I just thought, do you know what? I've got nothing to lose. So, boom, I ended up going to Burnley. And funny thing is, on my way to Burnley, on my way to the trial, we got lost so many times, like to the point where I was in the car panicking, thinking, yo, I'm late already to my trial.
Yeah.
This is mad first impression, like, and obviously because my parents are pastors and that, we ended up stopping somewhere on the motorway. We prayed. Obviously, that made me feel calm. Eventually, we found the training ground, and I was like half an hour late. So obviously, I'm running onto the field now. So I've run onto the field, and the scout and I are like, don't worry, just play your game. Like we know what happened, innit? So boom, like I've joined in training now, and I just did a Mazzoline. Like I just did a mad thing, and they were like, right, we'll sign you straight away. And then that was
first day straight there and then, yeah.
Yeah, it was literally, I think 20 minutes in, they knew that they were gonna sign me, innit? So yeah, from that moment,
Yeah.
that was when I started at Burnley. Yeah.
Yeah, because Burnley's when we met. I think that's
Yeah.
it's the Burnley time. So
Yeah.
So okay. So obviously, and what's happening from there? You stayed on, so obviously through the academy.
Yeah. So I went through. I signed at Burnley under 13s. So in total, I've done 9 years at Burnley. So when I was 15, I got offered an early scholarship. Me, obviously, Andreas, Andreas, and then there was 2 other boys got offered early scholarships as well, or 3, I think. So from like the age of like 14, 15, we was already playing with the youth team, like in under 17 games, sometimes reserve games and stuff like that. So they rated us at the time very highly. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I remember you and Andreas. I was cool. You guys it was a bit like the Dwight York and Andy Cole link up, like the 2 brothers, like.
Because do you know what the best thing about obviously Burnley for me is? I was playing with my best friends. Like, I was playing with my boy Ifram and Andreas. They were literally my right hands. Like, still to this day, he's still my right hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we already had that connection from playing in the street with each other. So the game was just easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knew what I was gonna do, and I know what he was gonna do. So we just clicked, obviously.
Yeah. So how about now? What's the current situation like in terms of clubs wise?
My current situation. So before the coronavirus, I was actually end of December, start of January. I left Chorley in the conference, and I ended up moving to Italy to sign for an Italian team in the Serie. It's like Serie D / the conference over there. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
So, like, obviously I went there and I enjoyed it. It was an amazing experience, but the only thing I regret, obviously, the coronavirus happening, because I didn't really get to do what I planned to do there.
Yeah, and that's actually what I was going to ask you. How's 20 later on? But I could ask you now. Yeah. How's 2020 been for you?
Do you know what? Yeah, 2020 has been a mad year. Like, obviously, with the football, obviously, coronavirus locked off the whole thing. Like, man, like in March, like I'm where I was as well. The rates were mad. Like, there was a point where man went to go buy a mask at the shop, and there's no masks in the whole region, not just the whole town, the whole region.
Whoa.
So, like, I was just like, yo, I want to go home, innit? So I got to come home. Then I think in the May, obviously, it's well documented, I lost my cousin, innit? Christine and Boo.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that, bro.
Yeah, no, it's all right. But yeah, man, 2020 has been like, it's been crazy, man, because obviously losing my cousin, like, that was my go-to. Like, I'll ring him for anything. Like, it's like you ringing your brother or your boy. Like, you're just ringing him just to see what he's doing. That's how our relationship was. And plus, he played ball. He was at Morecambe.
Yeah.
So that was definitely the hardest thing I've had to do in my life, because obviously I had to organise the funeral and stuff like that, and then I was doing it with another one of my cousins, but he ended up getting put in jail in the process. So a lot of things were going on at that time, and it was mad. And then after we lost Chris, my other cousin, she lost 2 stillborns. So in this year I've lost quite a lot of people. So it's been, the best way to put it is eye-opening.
Yeah.
That's the best way for me to put 2020, because it's a crazy thing, but no one ever expects to die. Everyone always expects to live, do you know what I mean? And obviously with the Chris thing, he was fit and healthy, like there was nothing wrong with him. A couple of days before, we was playing 5-a-side, you know. So yeah, like, and also it taught me a lot about other people. Like, I'd like to think that I'm a very sociable person that gets along with everyone. So you just see, like, not in a different light, but like it's tough. Like, when you're grieving and stuff like that, people react differently towards you, and then when obviously something passes, like anything in life, everyone just goes back to their normal life. But obviously, you're still dealing with your situation, innit? So yeah, it's the best way I could of 2020.
Yeah, nah, man. I hope like you and your family are good.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
And his family. I think he's got a younger brother that's in London as well.
Yeah, well, Chris's two brothers, one Azaria and Ben, they're both in London. They're both in London. Sorry,
Yeah.
They're in East. Yeah. So it was tough. It was very tough on everyone, especially even the footballing world. The one thing I will say about it, I was so touched and moved by obviously the responses that we got and the messages that we got about Chris. Like from I think there was a club photographer at one of his clubs. I think it was Crew, and it's crazy because this man messaged us and he basically said when he lost his father a couple of months before, Chris was the first player and the only player that messaged him to say, like, obviously condolences and check on who he was. And no one knew that, innit? So when you hear like little stuff like that, like obviously it gives you, it makes you realize how much of a good person he was. So for that, like, man, I'm always proud of him, innit? Because I believe that his journey was cut short, but he left everything. He left something in all of us. That's the best I can say. Yeah. So.
Nah, for real. So, what advice would you give to anyone that wants to get into your field? Like, because football is a big thing. Like, I'm talking to youngsters every day, and I deal with some youngsters, and it's like a lot of them want to be football players, and they tell me to be football players. I'm like, yeah, that's good, but there's a lot. I know there's a lot of discipline and a lot of things behind the scenes that obviously you've got experience from playing for like one of the biggest clubs in the world. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to any, not just a young person, but just anyone in the foot, even those that are still currently playing as well?
Yeah. I think the advice that I'd give is just the best way to put it is give your best in it. Like, make sure if you're going for it as a footballer, try give everything that you have, because once you switch off that split second, there's always someone behind you that could be 5 years younger, could be 10 years younger, could be older. There's always someone ready to take your place. So, like, a massive thing in football is discipline. Like, I think discipline and football, they go hand in hand. If you're not disciplined, you're not gonna last in the game for very long. So I think you've got to be disciplined and most importantly, overall, over anything as a footballer, to believe in yourself at every single time, even when it's hard to believe in yourself when people criticize you and things are going wrong. Like, just keep that belief in yourself.
Masanka got pocket space. Nice ball to Jennings. That ball in. Masanka! Wrexham take the lead. Just moments into the second half, and Tumba Masanka has his first goal. Porter. Great challenge from McGill Wright. Rutherford plays through Masanka. He's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Tumba Masanka! 2-0 Wrexham. They needed that goal.
Believing in yourself and just remembering your ability and why you started to play the game. And do it for you. Like, overall, I know everyone, like, we all want to, do well for our families and all that, but at the end of the day, me, when I started playing football, I started because of my pure love of the game. It wasn't because of anyone else. It's because I love the game. Obviously, as you get older, you want to help your family, your friends and that, but the main priority in football is you. Simple. Yeah.
So, like, how do you plan or help your community, like, country? Do you have any plans of helping your community country?
So basically, obviously, like I said before, my parents are pastors, innit? And my mum has a charity. It's a church charity. It's called what's it called? She Shall Be Called Woman. It's on Instagram, and basically we have a church in Congo. So what that charity does is we send clothes, we send stuff for kids, we send food. Like over the COVID period, we were sending goodie bags of food, like for families and that, like masaka loso, fufu, all them type of things.
For those that don't know, saka loso is like rice.
Basmati rice.
Yeah.
So we were sending.
Hey, sorry, bro. You know Lingala is beautiful, man. It's just, you know, there's certain things here. You say Lingala, when you just can't. You translate it. It's just not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah, like look. I don't know if you can see just behind me here. Sorry, I don't know how you flip this. Oh, here it is. This box here is going to Congo.
Okay.
So, yeah, this box here is going to Congo. So it's got like clothes and shoes and all that stuff. And then these bags here, they're all going to Congo, as you can see. So, yeah, like, and I want to get in. I've never been to Congo. I haven't been to Congo yet, but I was planning this year to go to Congo, but hopefully I'm hoping to go to Congo next year. And because I really want to, there's one thing about our country is we're so unique to everybody else. Like, I feel like the energy in the country, whether it's music, whether it's football, like, it's so passionate. Like, everyone's so passionate, and we want, obviously, to better our country. So in any way, shape or form, even if it's small, big, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm trying to help someone else to be in a better place, then for me, like, I'm doing my job as a human being.
Yeah, for real. Nah, I love and I respect that, man. 100%.
Yeah,
I respect that, man.
I look at, like, now, you look at like young Nigerians, young Ghanaians, like, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. When I seen Afro Nation was in Ghana, like, bro, man's jealous. Like, I'm thinking, yo, our music in Congo is so beautiful. Like, there's no words to describe it. Like, for me, yeah, there's no music that compares to our music because it's authentic, it's natural. You could have a studio recorded song. If they play it live to you, it's exactly the same. You won't hear the difference in the music. It's mad. So, like, for me, like, Congo, it's just so beautiful. It's a shame the way that the country has been dealt with over the years and that, but obviously I'm always praying for change for Congo, man, because a better Congo means a better world. Simple as.
That's you couldn't have said it any better. A better Congo means a better world, and that's exactly it. You know, and I don't think we're not just saying. I'm not just saying that because I'm Congolese, by the way, as well. And if we look at the resources that we have, and you know, like, we shouldn't be in the position that we are in. Like that the box that you're making, you know, to send back home is, bro. If what we do to feed the some things in the world, bro, it's just mad.
We're in, like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I sit, like, I'll be having debates with my Nigerian friends, my Ghanaian, my Arab friends, and I'm arguing with them, telling them, yo, we have everything, but they're spinning me back saying, you have everything, but you have nothing. You look at and bro, that one there hurts me inside because I'm thinking, yo, like, you look at Dubai was nothing 20 years ago. But look at it now. Yeah. And they have nothing compared to what we have in our country. Well, what we have in the south of Congo just alone is more than anything that is under their surface. And that's no disrespect to, obviously, any other country, but we provide coltan that makes our phones work, internet, laptop, all them things there. So for our country to be in the position that it is, it's just sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. So, you know, Congo stand up.
Yeah, man, Congo stand up. Especially us young ones as well, because we're the ones that are going to be relaying the message to the future generations. Like, I think if we start making a change now, like young Ghanaians, young Nigerians, young Cameroonians and all them type of countries there are doing, yeah, look at the way their countries are going. If we start to do that, yeah, then we can only pray that our country will get there, because I believe that it will.
No, for real. It will definitely get there. Like I said, let's just every day take steps to move forward and be united. And, encourage each other. Another thing that's quite sad is that a lot of our community, we kind of put each other down a lot. And, it's one of the saddest things because, together we stand. You know what I'm saying? And until we realize that it's a difficult one.
You know what? I've got a question for you actually.
Okay.
What do you think about the whole like Kabamba situation and obviously the concerts with the Fally and that? Because with me, I completely understand where they come from because in our country, as you know, bro, Fally, Kofi, Wirason, them types of people there, yeah, bro, they're more powerful. If they speak, they're more powerful than the president, bro. Like, their words are so powerful to Congolese people. If they was to take a stance like the Burna Boys and the Wizkid have done during NSARS, maybe we might be seeing different types of things, to get what I'm saying, in our country.
Okay, so my views on this one. So how can I explain it before anyone gets onto me? I know some people are going to say, he's being political, he's playing safe, yeah? So no, yeah. So it's not a political thing. It's not I'm playing safe, but for me, what I think is that we need to get to the point where we look beyond like, this has happened or this person ain't speaking, and we make that stand. So that's kind of where I'm at, is that, okay, like you said it before, it's like, okay, like we can change that. So if we see that there's things that are not being done, I think we should focus and channel our energies into making it happen, like we make it happen. And I'm standing here saying that, if anyone's ready to wants to go back home and we need to make a stand for our country, I'm willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm open to doing that. And I'm saying that we make that change, and we can also show others as well that maybe have not done it in a certain way that we think is right or wrong or whatnot, and make it happen. I just think we got to make it happen. I think like if we take steps daily steps, because with the Congolese situation, it's a daily thing. It's something that cannot be stopped because
it's daily, it's spiritual. There's so many things.
There's so much, but like this is an open one, not just for Congolese people, but for the world. If you know what Congo holds, and if you know what Congo has been through, the history of Congo, the oppression in Congo, why things are not spoken about, and you want to, jump on this wave. We're not saying Congo because we're Congolese, but we're saying because we know what we have. Yeah, we know what we are not. How can I explain it? We know what we have, and we know what limitation, where we should be, and we know if we was in ownership of our things, what we could do for firstly, everyone is for our people, firstly, because our people that live there, people that they need to be good. But
of course,
even the world, what more can we bring to the world? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot more. So that's another topic that we're gonna have to sit down and proper set a date. But you hit me, you proper like you got me thinking, bro. So, and I'm open to it. I'm saying that's a day that I think we need to sit down. So, guys, by the way, this is the second interview that I've had. So, in Tumba. So, in Tumba is just the ones that have raised it. So, we're gonna everyone hit up Tumba. Hit up Tumba. Yeah, he's starting a revolution. He's speaking about Congo. Man. So. Do you know
what? Yeah, it's not me. Like, I see so many young Congolese people on Twitter. Like, there's this one girl. I cannot remember her, but I think you probably know her. Like, it's like she even has a book about Congo, and every day, bro, like it's just relentless about Congo. And when I see that, like, bro, like it makes me proud to be Congolese, because I'm thinking, like, bro, she's fighting, like, to the point, like, bro, I'm so Congolese, that I remember when I was at Wrexham, I was on loan at Wrexham. I started a thing I was just calling myself the Prince of Congo, to a point where the fans started calling me the Prince of Congo, like they know, do you know what I mean, sort of thing. So I feel like we need to make the change, man. Like you said, we need to make the change in our country.
Yeah, Congo stand up. I love my country. I love my people. I'm Congolese. I'm proud. You know, and I know you're proud to be Congolese as well. But no, on a real level, we need to do something. We need to have some further meetings and speak about this and see how we can, you know. And again, I'm calling everyone. The reason why I'm saying all countries, because the situation with Congo, I believe it's a fact that yes, Congolese, we definitely as Congolese people need to fight, but it's something that the world needs to jump on this as well. And
we need help.
We need that help, and we need that help. But that first help is going to come from ourselves. So us Congolese, don't tell them, just make awareness. Let's do everything that we can, and it's something that if you tell them and stay awoke, it's something that we can't sleep on. And it's not that we start something today, then we stop tomorrow. It's got to be...
Yes, of course, yeah.
It's got to be continuous.
No, it's true, man.
Yeah, for real. So, guys, listen, that's Intumba. Thank you for your time. Thank you for...
No worries, my brother, man. Anytime.
For coming on. Bro,
Thank you for having me.
You know, bro, you're the blessing, bro. Léopard, bo contacter joueur na biso za awa. He hasn't been called yet to the national team. Donc, I want Nayo Kake, au Bengisi, ata friendly, ata quelque chose. Hein?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
But frère Mususu, that I know you play in the national team. If you can, go pistonner frère Aza awa joueur professionnel. Donc, let's make it happen, man. Let's boost each other, you know. And that's it, man. Yeah, man, bro. So, bro, I wish you nothing but the best. You know, I hope that
thank you, man.
This what's happening in the world right now is crazy. No one knows what's going on.
Yeah, of course.
And I know it's affecting people, but just stay fit, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Like, yeah, man.
Keep helping the people back home in Congo.
Thank you, bro.
Keep being an inspiration for other young people, bro. Last question, bro. Last question. Question. Now, Tumba, if you today became, I don't know, let's say you had a position of, you have a voice.
Okay.
Being a football player, you know, you definitely have you definitely have a voice. So what's the main thing that if you today had to change in Congo, we're going to relate it to Congo as you've touched on that subject. What's the main thing that you would change today?
The main thing that I would change today in Congo is employment. Employment, because in Congo, like I see a lot of videos, I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff like that about Congo, and like it upsets me because I see like a lot of like old women like Bakoko, like they're so frail, like you can see it. They look so frail, but they're so strong because they've been forced to be strong because they can't afford to not go to work. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the wage is that low, like people can't get jobs, you have kulunas, you have all sorts of things. People can't get jobs, people can't do things, and then before you know it, people become child soldiers, rebels. You already know how the situation is in our country. So I feel for definite, employment, because I think once the employment rates start going up, the country will be a better place, 100%.
For real, man. Enough respect. So we're going to connect with this. Some things that we're going to have some good private conversations first and speak about it, plan it, put it together, and then we're going to take it from there. But this is going to happen immediately. Listen, it's open. Do sell what we can to bring change to our country for the next generation. Definitely. This is our generation we're in now. And we're thinking about 4 generations ahead. Yeah. That's how we got to think. We can't just think today, the next generation. We got to think 4 generations.
Yeah, because change doesn't happen straight away. Doesn't happen straight away. I know that, well, I know that just obviously from what I do, change. You could be going through a sticky spell. There's been times in my career when I've gone through sticky spells and that, and change don't just happen straight away. It takes hard work to get to actually what you want. And just the last thing that I would like to touch on, I just want to say to obviously anyone out there, and that obviously 2020's been a crazy year, like for everyone, whether you're African, you're English, you're Scottish, Jamaican, what, like, it doesn't matter. It's hit everyone just as hard as each other, man. But the main thing, I think, like, just if you still have family members and that, like, just tell them you love them and be positive with the people. Like, spend time with your people and tell them how you actually feel about them. If you've got a friend that's doing something, spread positivity. Be positive towards that person. Help them, like, think, like, because I know me personally, if I'm in a situation, I want my friends to help me find a solution. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, I see a lot of the time, there's a lot of negativity and stuff like that, and pinpointing something on someone and labeling bad things on someone. But just imagine if you changed all them bad, negative words and perceptions of someone and you changed it into positive. Like, imagine what that person could be. And you never know what someone's going through. So just be kind to each other, man, and just be grateful, man. And I hope that everybody does enter the new year healthy, in good spirits, because it's been hard. No one can lie and say that 2020's not been hard. But yeah, man, that's just all I've got to say for it, really.
Nah, bro. Honestly speaking, love, much respect. Frananga,
Anytime,
Tumba, love, my bro. So 100, brother. 100 for coming on,
Merci,
brother, man.
bro, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man. Yeah, bro. Alright, bro. God
Peace
bless,
out.
bro.
God bless.
Peace out, my bro. Love
Love
family.
everyone.
Cool, man.
Love.
Cool, bro.